everyone, and welcome to Midnight Hype. My name is Dave, and today we're going to be reviewing the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Everybody knows Guardians of the Galaxy. It's been out for a while. They've been out since 2014. So now James Gunn is actually back to direct this holiday special. And this is going to be Marvel's second feature presentation. The first one was Werewolf by Night. This one's a little bit different because it's holiday based, it's Christmas based. It's pretty cool. We actually start out with this cartoon, and it looks like something out of, if you guys remember, like The Hobbit, how they used to have the Hobbit cartoon back in the day. And that's what it looked like to me. And it's Yondu and Peter. And Peter is trying to teach Kraglin, which is Yondu's second in command back then of the Ravagers, trying to teach him about Christmas time and about how they do Christmas, this holiday in Earth. Yondu doesn't want to hear any of it. He's tired of this shit. He's just like, nah, we don't do this around here. Clean everything up, throw everything out. The way he says it is like this: we actually work hard for what we need and we earn the stuff that we have, which what he says comes into play later on. For the most part, he tells Peter and Kraglin, hey, wrap this shit up, throw everything out. I don't want to see any of this. And we ended on that note. So it was kind of bittersweet, that moment. You get to see Yondu again. And Michael Rooker was the voice of Yondu as well, which he reprised that role, which is great. I always like hearing him. Zoom out of that dream, that dream or that cartoon. It was Kraglin actually telling the story to the Guardians. And the whole thing is that they're trying to figure out how to redecorate Nowhere, because now the Guardians, that's their base of operations now, is Nowhere. It looks like it has a lot of people living in there, or more people populating Nowhere now, which is really cool. You get to see the set. The set looks amazing. Everything looks good. The details, the props, everything looks really well done and exactly how it should be looking for a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So then from there, we take a quick turn and focus on Drax and Mantis. It looks like they become a little bit more buddy-buddy now. It looks like they become best friends, which is cool. I like that dynamic. They kind of mesh well with each other, you know? Drax is always going to be a knucklehead. Mantis, sometimes she's a ditz, and it kind of works well together, you know? He's getting on her about eating the last of the snacks. She's getting on him about holding on to secrets or not keeping her secret safe. And Mantis has a secret, and the biggest secret is let out within like 50 seconds into the movie. And the secret is that she's Peter Quill's sister. As most of you guys know, Peter Quill's father in the MCU, his father's Ego, that big planet that Ego just wanted to repopulate, and he just kind of wanted more power because I think he was a Celestial, right? I believe he was a Celestial. Anyway, she's one of his offsprings that actually made it out alive. Her and Peter are like half brother, half sister. Peter doesn't know this. Mantis knows this. Mantis doesn't want to say anything. Mantis just sees him, and she feels like she has to do something to get his Christmas spirit up. So then she, along with Drax, devise this crazy concoction of a plan, and they're like, what do you get the man that has everything? And Drax is like, I know, you get him exactly what he wants. And she's like, what? Like, what? She's like, there's one man who saved the world through dancing, and that was Kevin Bacon in Footloose. And they go to Earth, and Earth is like scarred by aliens. So as soon as they see an alien ship, people just start crying. Oh my God, they're back again. And then Drax is like playing it off like, oh crap, I forgot to put the cloak on. They go down to LA. They figured Kevin Bacon's around there, but they're trying to find out his exact address. As soon as they get down there, people think that they're cosplayers. They start asking them questions, taking pictures, giving them money. Drax is just stonewall face. He's just standing there. You see him beating up like Optimus Prime in the background. Oh my God, it's the funniest thing. It's just really funny how well they played that and how well they did that. Guardians, typical Guardians fashion, it goes off the rails immediately, but in a good way. They go from there to, I believe it's a club. They get all this money. They go into a club. Drax immediately, libations, and they start getting plastered. I'm talking about faded. People ask them for dances. They get hit on. You name it, it happens to them. They have a hell of a night. They're just almost passed out on the curb. Mantis sees this lady, and this lady's like, who are you looking for again? Mantis is like, we're looking for Kevin Bacon. And she's like, why don't you just get a map right over here? It tells you where they live at. They give tours out. And she's like, what? Yeah, it's like $5. $5. I don't have any more Earth money. So then Mantis remembers, oh yeah, I could do stuff with my mind when I touch people. So grabs onto her. She's like, let me get the map. Let me get your money. Let me get your money. She's like, robs this lady. So they both go to Kevin Bacon's spot, and Kevin Bacon, you can see he's just playing himself. He looks like he had a great time doing his thing, getting the presents ready for the family for Christmas morning. Beautiful house, beautiful mansion, whatever. Then you see Drax and Mantis show up, and Mantis gets hurled over. She's essentially asking for a boost. And Drax just picks her up and throws her over the fence. It was the funniest thing. They meet Kevin Bacon. They break into his house. They chase after Kevin Bacon. One of the funniest scenes, I think, is when Kevin Bacon calls the cops. They show up, and Drax is just like, Kevin, you're coming with us whether you like it or not. In front of the cops, like Drax doesn't, he doesn't care. They start blasting at Drax. Bop, 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 bop. They start shooting this man up, lighting this man up. It hits Drax, and this is how you know how powerful Drax is. They're shooting at Drax, and the bullets bounce off, and it starts tickling him. And he's like, stop, stop, oh my god, stop. And it's like somebody's tickling. He's like, stop, you're gonna make me pee, you're gonna make me pee, oh my god, it's so funny. I don't know how to describe it. Like, they're hitting Drax with, like... paper mache is what's going on here, and he thinks it's the funniest thing, and that's when you realize they're making something comical out of this, but yeah, he's strong as hell. So then they grab Kevin, they go back to nowhere, they set up this beautiful shot of Peter walking out. He hears music, familiar music, and it's actually holiday classics that are playing. Then he goes outside, everything gets lit up, the whole town looks beautiful, amazing with all these different lights. And before I forget, I did want to mention this too. Before they leave with Kevin Bacon, they make it their business to go and rob this Christmas store. They robbed this Christmas store blind, man. That's where they got all the stuff, all the lights. They robbed this Christmas store, and then they left. They dipped and went back to nowhere. I thought it was the funniest thing. Mantis does her thing, manipulates Kevin Bacon into thinking everything's all right and to act like a more heroic version of himself. And he does it. He does the damn thing. He's a phenomenal actor. He has a lot of range, too. So you see it there. He switches it up really quick, and I was very impressed by that. I was like, wow, he's Kevin Bacon. I knew he could act, but he got some acting chops on him. After that, they go to nowhere. Peter Quill comes out, sees all the lights. Then there's a huge spotlight, and then you see Groot, and now Groot is like a young man, right? So Groot is like coming in with this like hand truck, and it looks like he's carrying a refrigerator. No, inside the refrigerator is an almost asphyxiated Kevin Bacon. He's like trying to gasp for air. Peter opens his gift. He sees Kevin Bacon and he flips his shit. He's like, I can't believe you guys did this. Oh my god, you guys are a bunch of idiots. Oh my god. So he swears to Kevin Bacon, listen, just don't freak out. I'm gonna get you back, okay? Just hang tight. You know, he asked Mantis to reverse this, and she does. He was like, who did this? Whose fault is it? Who thought of this plan? Everybody's saying Drax. Oh, Drax did it. And then Drax is like, I think I did it. Dave Bautista, man. Dave Bautista is he's something else, man. We're a fan of his at the show. From then on, he's just very apologetic to Kevin Bacon. And then Kevin Bacon decides, yeah, I want to get out of here. Let's get the hell out of here. While he's on the ship, Kevin is speaking to Kraglin, and Kraglin just tells him, hey, listen, we didn't mean for this to happen. It's just these people want to know more about Christmas, and the only version of that Christmas came from me, which came from Peter. Kevin Bacon has a quick change of heart. He calls up his wife, decides, hey, listen, I'm going to be a little bit late for Christmas, but it's going to be all right. I'm doing this to teach some folks about Christmas, which is cool. Towards the end, he ends up singing a number with one of the local bands, which is the band that was in the beginning of the movie. Everybody has a good time. While they're doing that little song and dance number, they start handing out gifts. Once they do the gift exchange, one of the gifts that stood out was Nebula. So Nebula has a soft spot for Rocket. You see her giving Rocket a long box. He opens it up. It's Bucky's arm. The one from Wakanda, the one that T'Challa had made for him, the one out of vibranium. It's that one. Is that one? And he's like, you see Rocket like, is that Bucky's arm? Oh, it was the funniest thing. Oh my god. And you see this little smirk on Nebula's face, like, yeah, she felt good about it. So next time we see Bucky, he might have a different arm. Then after that, we get a little bit of a closing with Peter and how he spent his time and his Christmas with Mantis, basically. And Mantis was asking him, like, hey, we wanted to do something nice for you. I wanted to do something nice for you because I know Christmas is a tradition that you hold dear and you don't get to see it very often. And he tells her what happened with Yondu. So what happened with Yondu was that Yondu took a look at all the trash pile with that one animated Christmas. They went back into this cartoon animation and they showed Yondu picking through the Christmas gift and seeing the gift that young Peter had wrapped for Yondu. And it was one of these bobbleheads to put on his dashboard on his spaceship. And Yondu must have liked that a lot because, you know, you see him with a whole lot more. That's like his thing. Throughout the whole Guardians, you see him with a lot of these little bobbleheads or tchotchkes or whatever. And that might have been the one that started it all. Yondu felt a certain kind of way about it, so to repay that, he actually got Peter his dual blasters, the one that he uses throughout his whole Guardians and Infinity War, whatever. The ones that you always see him with, those came from Yondu as a gift, as a Christmas gift to Peter. It brought it back full circle from the very beginning, you know. It was a show of appreciation, like Peter had said, and it got repaid. Mantis then opens up about her and him. I did this because you're my brother and I'm your sister. And he's like, what do you mean, what? He's like, yeah, Eagle was my father. That's when Peter realized, holy crap, not only do I have a team, I also have a family member within the team too. So it kind of broke him down a little bit. They started crying and he literally just said, this is the best Christmas gift I could ever get. I thought this movie was very enjoyable for a short film, short presentation. It had everything on the button. It was very nice, give you a nice warm feeling. It did have the Guardians of the Galaxy fashion to it. So James Gunn, he knows how to balance things with comedy and have that levity of the comedy and also emotion behind it, which is really cool. And I do like that, you know. This was after Wakanda Forever and then watching this, it's like Marvel, okay, now you're back on track. He handled it very well. Some of the gripes about this little mini movie that I didn't like, you could tell which cameras they use. Like, you could tell that the camera wasn't a movie quality camera. You could tell it was a little bit more daytime TV type of camera, you know. I don't know if it was like the frames per second or what it is, but it was just, that was my only gripe with it. The lighting, the grading, the special effects, the cinematography, that was really well done too. The graphics compare to the counterpart, the movie counterpart, for sure. The story behind it, that actually is what makes sense, and that actually is what helped this little Marvel feature presentation do really well, at least in my eyes. I give it a solid 8.5. Give it an 8 or 9. I highly suggest you see it. If you're a fan of Marvel, if you're a fan of holiday things, it's a win. I enjoyed it. Everybody had a good time. I'm looking forward for more. I'm hoping they make more of these feature presentations because we were missing the one-shots. If people remember from back in the day, the one-shots used to come around every once in a while, and they were just awesome. They added a little bit more information, a backstory behind characters. That way, it prepared you to what their next adventure would be. So I really do miss those one-shots, and if these are going to replace one-shots, I'm all for it. If you guys did like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help us out a lot. It helps the channel grow. I look forward to doing more of these Dave reviews, you know. Keep it nice and short and sweet. That's it, guys. We'll see you in the next one.